Well, hello, travelers, or would be travelers, or wannabe travelers, or will travel again travelers. To Travel Bistro, pull up a chair. I have a guest today. Gary Barker is here with me.
Good
Hi,
morning.
Gary.
Happy to be in your travel bistro.
Thanks for being here. Gary is a travel writer. He's my partner too, but he is also an extensive travel writer. That's also a challenge right now because there's just not a lot to write about.
It is. It's very tough to get out on the road right now, but hopefully this too shall pass.
Yes, but we've decided that we are going to try to find little pockets, as I said on a previous podcast, of little things to do. So this morning we hopped in the car and we live in North Palm Beach, so we went north up US 1 to Indiantown to A1A. And then we went down A1A, and this little park is not new. It's been there since 2005, I believe, is when it opened. And but it's kind of hard. It's easy to miss. It's you pass it and you go, oh, that looks like a cute park, and you're past it because it's right
Yeah,
by
you go right by the entrance before you realize it.
yeah, and you're at a bridge that goes over the intercoastal, so you have to. So we had to double back. I knew where it was, and I still missed the entrance. So we had to we had to make a little U-turn and come back. But when we got out, there were a few people there.
Yeah, I'd say about a dozen cars,
Hmm.
and it's small but a very beautiful little park.
It is. It's a little noisy, a little bit, because it's right by A1A, so there's traffic there going over the intercoastal bridge and so forth. But hey, yeah, it's a city. We're in a city, so that kind of stuff doesn't really bother me.
And there were lots. It's really kind of a center for a lot of water activities. People bring their kayaks and launch them there. There's fishing, saltwater and freshwater from the piers. There's a fish cleaning station. There's restrooms and some lovely picnic tables scattered around. It's like I think 2.5 acres total.
You don't
And
really have to do anything if you don't want to, because
no,
you can
just enjoy the ambiance of being by
hmm
the river or the intercoastal.
yeah, and it's sunny. It's the walkways are paved. It's beautifully maintained, and uh, we were there at a time when the sun was pretty bright, but there's a lot of shade. There's quite a bit of shade.
And the other part of it is there's quite a bit of history.
There
Uh,
is. Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of historical plaques and you can read about it, but I guess that particular area was settled 5,000 years ago
Incredible.
by Indians who saw, hey, this is a pretty good place to hang out.
Yeah, great location.
And so they were the first, of course, and then, but what really put it on the map was Henry Flagler when he built his railroad to Florida. One of the depots, one of his 65 depots, train depots, was right there, and at Jupiter. And once the depot was there, then it really took off.
There are only 8 of those left, I've read, of those
Yeah, luckily,
structures.
luckily in 2012, the city saved this particular depot from demolition, and
Mm-hmm.
had it moved at pretty great expense back to its original location, and then refurbished, and now it's quite lovely and looks like it did, I guess, back in 1915 or whenever.
You can't go inside it right now. I think there are plans to have a museum in there. I don't know how far along they are on that. I tried to find it. It looks like they last year kind of put it on hold. Some of that work up there at the park, but the outside is really lovely.
It is. It's very nice, and right in beside it is we found the Cabot oak,
Mm-hmm.
which is a 200-year-old oak tree that's
Huge.
huge and quite beautiful,
Yeah.
and it's named the Cabot oak because one of the people back in the day, Cabot, uh, is buried under it.
Did you get a chance to read or anything about Cabot? Why?
You know, I did, and I'm trying to recall it. It was, I know that he was killed. I don't know if it was an explosion, but something happened.
Okay.
And then they buried him under that tree.
Oh,
But
okay.
he played a key role, you
Somehow.
know, in developing, I guess, that area.
Okay.
And I'm trying, it's all on a plaque, and I can't remember all the details. But
You can see the lighthouse. There's a view. This is where the Jupiter Inlet meets the Loxahatchee, hence the brackish, I guess, situation near there. But it again. It was this with the sun coming up there. It was or up high enough that it made it pretty bright, looking toward the lighthouse. But I imagine later in the afternoon you could see it, but
hmm
I think it would probably have a better view later in the day, maybe.
But yeah, and it's quite scenic with all the kayaks and the boats and the lighthouse and the inlet, and it's very beautiful.
A lot of people, I was reading, a lot of people fish there. They really enjoy fishing. It has gotten really good reviews. People that visit,
Well, it's clean, like you said,
very
well
clean.
maintained.
It's very it's there's not a ton of parking, and right now during this COVID-19 situation, the hours fluctuate a little bit. It says, check the hours to see. So you might want to do that before you go.
Always a good idea.
Yeah, because the parking is somewhat limited if it got really crowded, and then there's no overflow. There's there's no place nearby that I saw conducive to parking
No, I don't think so.
for that area. But there are other places nearby. In the inlet, there's Utiki is close. There's some restaurants nearby, and of course it's really right off of Indian Town, and that's a major street in Jupiter. So it's not hard to find, but the first time you go there, the entrance comes up on you really fast.
So just bear that in mind.
But it's one of those little getaways that took us probably 20 minutes,
Maybe 20 minutes
to get there. So it's like a 20-minute getaway, and we spent time walking and taking pictures and just kind of seeing what all was there. But a lot of people were beginning to bring their kayaks and canoes.
It was going to be a busy day at the park.
It is. There's a nice little roundabout where you can bring your whatever your vessel is, your water vessel, and unload it right there at the
little launch area. Yeah.
And then go and park. But it's nice to find these little things that are nearby, and makes you feel like you're having a chance to get away.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yes, makes you feel a staycation. Pardon me, as they say.
It's the kind of place with the covered picnic areas were so pretty, and it's the kind of thing that would be fun to take, even breakfast, depending on how early it opens. You could take coffee and a little bit of breakfast and have there, or go later in the afternoon and have a latish picnic, depending on just how hot and how humid it is.
And that would be quite lovely.
It would. So I definitely want to do that. So that is our little entry to close to home, quick zippy trips, I guess, as you call it.
Yep, Sawfish Bay Park.
Yeah. So if you are local, you're in the area, check it out.
Check it out.
If you're ever in this area passing through, there's also very nearby a wonderful restaurant called 1000 North, owned by a very famous person. And depending on what their hours are, I really don't know.
Yeah, everything check ahead these days.
Yeah, but it's a wonderful restaurant that you can go to. That's not very far from this little park. So I hope that you're finding little ways to travel close to home, making it feel like you're able to get out and break the feeling of not being able to travel. Some people are traveling a bit already, but we're not as yet.
Hopefully soon. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
I hope that you will visit our website and my other podcast. You can find everything on northpalmbeachlife.com, and we also have a YouTube channel by the same name. I have other podcasts there, Pammy's Chit Chat and My Father's Tales. So we're trying to keep you entertained as best we can. And thanks for pulling up a chair and being with us. Thanks, Gary.
Yeah, well, thank you for inviting me, and everybody out there have safe travels.
And be sure to travel on.